Ya boy, Big Rob, back in my house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Today is Rant and Ramble. If it's your first time checking out this show, a little different than our Monday through Friday in studio filming. This is more of a Q&A segment where we talk about personal growth and hey, how to make a little bit more money and well, stop being stupid. All right, so big day today, juiced up Sunday. It's my favorite day of the week. Evaluate what the hell we did, what went wrong, what can we improve, and what we are looking to get done next week. And man, I'm coming in with the juice. I want to give a big shout out to Tim Hurst. He says first time catching live. Hola, there you go. Also, today there's not much brewing in cryptocurrency news. I spent about an hour before the show kind of looking things over. Didn't see anything worth even talking about, or not anything worth spending time discussing. So today's first half segment, we're going to do more Q&A. If you got any thoughts on crypto or maybe a project that you want me to take a look at, put that in the chat. Also, just let's chit chat. Let's do a little bit of talking. Let's have a little conversation. Let's get back and forth. I want to know what you guys are up to today, what you guys were up to this week, and what you plan on doing next week. That's right. And then also make sure you guys hit the like button. Only got less than 50% like ratio, so I don't have a like button sign or emoji or video, but I do got persuasion. And so do me a damn favor, hit the damn like button. And now big news coming out of Twitter camp. They are rebranding, and we're going to talk about that today. They're switching over to X, and also there's they're trying to get rid of some of the bots, so they got a plan of attack there as well. And what else? Bitcoin's over 30,000, so I think we are kind of still range bound to 30k, but we flipped on the other side, the green side of 30,000. So that's always positive. Now, we do want to, let's get a roll call going. Let me say what's up to my peoples. Where my peoples at? First up in the chat today was Meanless. Super excited to be first in the chat. He made sure he said it a bunch of times. So big shout out to you, Meanless. We got me, one as well. Crypto 420. Jerome H, Destroyer, Fino, Nightbot. I even get a shout out to the bots. Yes, that's right. Dave Motts, JG, John Foster Crypto, Alexandra, Tim Hurst, Bobcats, Doug. We got Big Mac, Gold in Giant 58, Crypto Hands, B Team Crypto, Paul Lukin, Doug. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. I want to know where the people at. Let's get this chat rolling so that way we can get more people in here. And you know, one of the things that YouTube looks at when suggesting video is how much is the community talking. They even have a number for this. It's called chat. It's CPM. It's a chat rate per minute. So the chat per minute rate. And so if you have a high rate of people talking, you get a higher likelihood of putting your stuff out there. We got Brad G up in here. Calathai as well. Calathai is coming in from Madrid. And E-Train as well. It says Long Island, New York says hola. It's hola without the H for all of you that are new. I mean, I don't mind you throwing the H on there, but I'm just letting you know. No H here. And so we do a little bit of we do some Q&A here as well. So in case you didn't know, former chef here as well. So Sin City Crypto, what was your go-to dish when you were a chef? You know, I don't really have a go-to dish, really. I mean, my thing as a chef, and this is how you know, like, good chef versus not so good chef, is that the not so good chefs will always default to what makes them comfortable, right? They always have a specialty. They always have one dish they make. Like, that's a cop out. That means you don't take the risk, and you're always going to your safe place, right? So the strongest chefs, the best chefs in the world, use their ingredients at their disposal. So if your dish requires strawberries, or your dish requires a vegetable that does not grow year round, then you either one, bringing in a vegetable that does not grow year round, which probably doesn't taste as good, right? Sorry to say, but oranges in the middle of winter don't taste as good as the oranges in the middle of summer. You might have noticed when you buy a watermelon, like, you might not have noticed the time of year where you're like, man, that watermelon was really sweet. And the reason for that is because it's probably in season, had a lot of sunlight, and grew in a favorable weather conditions. And so the strongest chefs are going to use the best ingredients at that time, especially regionally. Think about it, right? So for me, if I'm a chef, I'm going to do a dinner, I'm going to do a menu, I'm going to go down to the farmer's market and I'm going to pick out the best looking vegetables to make the best dish. Same thing with seafood, same thing with the butcher shop, and it goes from top to bottom. And so when chefs say they have specialties and they cook one thing, they're hacks. They ain't real chefs. They just uncomfortable. You know, they've made one dish that a lot of people told them was good, and they don't want to experiment, try anything else. They just sit in their little comfort hole. Now, what else we got? He said, what's a good cleaner to clean your stovetop? Water. I try to use as least amount of chemicals as possible. And so for me, my stove is super easy to use. I just use Windex or water and vinegar. I have an induction. So induction is glass top. So I used to have burners. I used to work in the restaurants, and in the so when I first worked in the restaurants, I worked at steakhouses where it was all gas burners. So myself being, growing up predominantly in America, I was always like, oh yeah, gas is the way to go, man. You gotta have gas. Yeah, real men. Yeah, we use gas. Yeah. And that was kind of like what chefs would always preach about. Then I worked at some Michelin star restaurants, some French ones, right? And they had inductions. And I'm like, where the gas at? And it was just a glass flat top. So anyways, induction, what it does, keep the story short, is that they use magnets to heat up the iron in a pan. So you either use a cast iron or use a pan that has an iron core at the bottom. That's that little lip at the bottom of the pan. And the induction uses an electromagnet to heat it up. So anyways, you get instant response. You can heat up a pan instantaneously to 500,000 degrees by using an electromagnet. And so you can boil water within a minute or two, like a large pot. You have immediate control. So I can have a slide meter 1 to 10, and then I can heat up a pan at 10 full blast and then crank it down to 2. It instantaneously drops the heat down to 2. So it's instant control. But the best part of that for cleaning is that it's just a flat glass top. It looks kind of like those electric ones where it's all black and glass. Those are easy to clean. Electric stovetops look similar to inductions. Those are trash. Don't ever buy one. But if you get a chance to get an induction, get it. I had gas in my house. I spent a lot of money closing the gas line, running electricity to where the stovetop was, and then I put that in. All right. So anyways, Brad says he loves using gas. I mean, if I didn't have hands-on experience with induction and knew how great it was, I probably would say the same thing. And I would, unless I worked with it every single day. It's different when you work with something. You ever been in, like, let's just say you're a car mechanic, or say you're a mechanic, and you work with something every single day, like a certain type of tool. You're never going to go buy, like, if you find something that's really good, let's say it's a impact wrench or something, you're never going to go buy like the little T-bar cross to change tires, right? If you have an impact wrench, you see the NASCAR, like if you got one of those, like that's the superior tool for the job. You're never gonna have the little T-bar nut wrench that you stomp on with your foot to change tires. Like you're gonna be like, F that. You're like, I'm getting the impact wrench. Same thing. Now, if you've never worked in that industry, you'd be like, well, why do I need that wrench? Like, come on, bro. That's overkill. Like, but if I'm in that industry, I'm gonna use that, right? And so for me personally, I used and I worked with the Induction, it was great. I'll leave it at that. All right, let's move on. Now, what else do we got here? And remember, if you are new here, say hello so we can drop an hola back at you. And we also play a little bit of music in here, so we're going to get this thing going. Crypto Hand says he has an electric stove. I'm sorry. Make some money on crypto, man. Swap that thing out. Unless you're renting, you can make do. I cooked on an electric for a while when I was in an apartment. I feel your pain. Maddie says he never worked. He never fully understood inductions. The only thing downside, if you get an induction, is that it only works with iron core pans or cast iron pans. So those cheap Teflon pans you get at Walmart won't work. Anything that it doesn't have a solid iron core will not work. So you have to invest in some good pans. You should be investing in good pans and silverware anyways, or knifeware, cutlery. These things you can pass on. My pans and my knives, I'm passing on to my kids, bro. Those things are gonna last forever. You buy a good knife, you don't need to worry about it ever again. You buy a cheap one and cheap pans, you're gonna be buying them every few years. All right, let's take a look at crypto. We got Bitcoin coming in at $30,127. So a little movement today. When I started the stream, it was at 29. So we are getting a little bit of price movement in the right direction. You can see here, might look a little bit more dramatic on this chart here, but you can see we went from 29.8 past 30,000. We are at 30,100 at the moment. So where will we end up by the end of the show? I don't know. I'd like to know. Real quick though, I want to get a little the chat's starting to slow down, starting to get quiet, guys. Why y'all quiet? Let's get a Ola train going. I'm gonna drop the first Ola in here. We got 90 people in here, still 50% like ratio. Not sure why you haven't hit the like. If you hit the like, put an Ola in the chat. Let's get this thing going, man. It's Sunday. It's my favorite day, and I'm gonna tell you more about my Sundays in a little bit. But all right, so taking a look, Ethereum 18.94, kind of messing around with that 1900 mark. And then biggest gainers, Optimism up 4.83%, up 9% on the week. DYDX, GMX also up. Some of the biggest losers today, you got Synthetics down 3%. XDC, I don't even know what XDC is. I should know what this is. It's in the top 60. What is XDC? And then I saw somebody say something about a token here a second ago. Pancoin. I'll look at Pancoin in a minute. I usually don't spend too much time on tokens that are outside, say the top 200, but I'll take a peek at it. So anyways, not too much. XRP sitting right at the 75 cents. It is down 5% on the week, so starting to have a little pullback from its massive rally. And Cardano at 30 cents. I did want to highlight the fact that the meme coin thing seems to be dying down. This local meme coin high that we had about a month or 2 months ago, where all the meme coins were just rallying and pumping. And you know, Dogecoin's held strong. So at first glance, you say, oh, meme coins are good. But, you know, Shiba Inu is down to number 18. And then ever since the height of the bull market, where Shiba Inu was, I think at one point it had flipped Dogecoin. I think it was in the top 6 or 7. I don't exactly remember its spot, but ton of capital, ton of market cap, especially against the rest of the altcoin market. And it is significantly fallen from grace. And, you know, I think that as retail comes in, they will get back into Shiba Inu. But I think that over time, these meme coins, even Shiba Inu, are going to slide they're gonna have a less of a rally each bull market. They're gonna have more of a sell-off each bear market, and they're gonna underperform the layer one competition. Now, I realize the power of the meme coin, and I realize that it is representative of retail trying to cash in on short-term gains or what a short-term time horizon. So with that said, I would not be surprised if you picked up Shiba Inu now, as an example, in the bottom of a bear market or coming out of a bear market, and it were to 10, 20x later on during the bull market. But I think that it's going to not be as sustained. You're going to have more peaks and valleys from bear market to bull market, followed by another bear market. And it's going to be hard to time it. So if you're going to try to nail a 10 to 20x, I think you're going to have a harder time doing that with Shiba Inu. While you look at other layer ones, I think, Ethereum, for example, way less volatile. I think a 10x is still easily on the table. I think $10,000 Ethereum, $20,000 Ethereum is something that is realistic with market adoption. And even if outside of that, I think that these top layer ones, Cardano, XRP, Solana, Polygon, I know Polygon's a layer 2, maybe even Tron. I think that these are going to have the 10x's, perhaps the 20x's, and yet have a longer time duration for you to DCA in and out. And you can look at a chart of a meme coin and be like, wow, man, look at this all-time high. But those usually are just peak, right? They're so volatile that you don't even have a chance to nail it at the top or the bottom, whatever. And if you happen to get lucky, that's one buy. And so ideally, if you want to be profitable in a bear market to bull market move, you need a DCA both sides in and out. Now, I'm not saying you couldn't get lucky, but it's extremely difficult, if not impossible, to nail the bottom and the top. So ideally, if you're going to make money, you would want to DCA at the bottom. You want to buy, let's just say Solana was down to $7. Like, how many people bought Solana at $7, right? Or no, it was $8. Excuse me. I thought it went down to 8. I thought it went down to 7. Anyways, so went down to $9, right? So how many people pulled the trigger there? I mean, here's the thing. You had quite some time on this layer one to DCA, right? So let's just say you started DCA in here in October of 2022. You were picking it up at $28, a little more pricey than you are now. And then it fell down. You were DCing at 13, 14, 12, 13. You kept buying. You bought more at $9, at 11, 13. And you bought at 24. Then it dumped down to 20. And you're buying back 18 again. Then over here, you're buying at $15. So anyways, what I'm saying is that through this course, you're DCing. But look how long of a time period you have to DCA. It's going to look very similar, but inverse on the way out. So, during the run up, if I know this looks pretty dramatic and sharp, but if you were to just to look at this chart and just imagine here, you're at the height of the bull market, you can start DCAing out at $138, $200, $168, and this is over the course of 6 months essentially. And so you have, or even more than that, you have about 8 months of DCA action. And here you could be DCAing out at $90. Now, my anticipation is that, don't need to look any further than the history. The opportunity or this profit area is, even in Solana, which was super volatile for layer one, they had a ton of opportunity to DCA out and some massive profits. And so if we were to get back to all-time highs from where we're at now, you DCA at the bottom, you buy, and then you DCA it out at the top. It's basically you just switch over from your buy every bi-weekly or monthly or weekly, whatever it is, and then you just do the sell. And that's it. It's pretty simple. And then, you know, that's my strategy, unless you plan on hodling for the rest of, you know, your life or something. But, you know, I'm in crypto to make some money. You know, I have my Bitcoin position. Don't plan on DCAing in or out of that. That's just my essentially crypto 401k, right? Which we offer, you know, 401k. We offer tax-free solutions through our partner, I Trust Capital, as well. But yeah, so there's that. But I think that, you know, the meme coin thing is it's going to fade, right? And these products that we are most excited about are the ones that are going to change the world. Right? Remember, these are not just simply cryptos to buy and try to flip for money because of a just simply price movement. Now, there are some there, and I know that's a lot of people's, you know, what they're trying to do. But let's not forget that the underlying asset is game-changing technology that can be used globally, that can offer financial services, that can transfer data, that can provide ownership, can give you an identity. And all of these services is something that we take for granted here in the States and in Europe as well. But there are 8 billion people, 2 billion in the world unbanked. And also the people that are banked, there is a giant percentage of people that, well, lack security. They might bank in something that is not efficient, that taxes them to death. And so all of these cryptos offer game-changing services that aren't controlled by any one person. And hey, if shit hits the fan and we go into global war, then the people that back your money is the government. And so if your government is stressed, whether or not it's in a war and needs to provide money and, you know, for fighting or whatever it is, they may print in the same way that we saw in 2020 with the pandemic and the printing, and what we saw afterwards with inflation. Or they might just take your money. There's a lot of downside to just simply relying on your government and having full faith that they're going to provide you with the correct monetary system without manipulating it. And there has been no currency throughout history that hasn't been manipulated by its government. And so just keep that in mind, guys. That's why I'm in crypto, is because this is going to change the world. And it's no different than me looking at the internet revolution and being like, wow, we're about to connect the world digitally. Like let's think about before that, people couldn't even grasp the concept. All you could do was imagine and dream and say, hey, it's going to do this, it's going to do this. But nobody dreamt up of Uber. Nobody realized, you know, what Airbnb was. Nobody thought about streaming video and streaming audio. You know, and there might have been a handful of cuckoos out there that said, hey, one day we're going to be able to download a video game and play it without ever having to go to the store. There's no need for games. The thing was people just assumed like, hey, all we're going to do is send emails and have chat rooms. At first glance, there wasn't a lot of thought outside of there, but there were a lot of DJs in the internet space that were like, dude, everything is going to change. And with crypto, everything is going to change, because now you can move data or value at the speed of light, decentralized, without anybody's permission at any time. And that is something we've never had. And we've never been able to take control of our own money. Like, we were never an owner of your own money. Like, in the history of mankind, we've never been given some money and been like, this is yours, nobody can take it from you. The closest thing we've had was gold, right? That was the closest thing. But outside of carrying what you can physically hold, that can be taken, it can be stolen, it can be seized, the government can say, hey, we're going to need your gold, like they did back in the 30s. And there's no shortage of examples of the fault of holding precious metals as a store of value. So now you can do it digitally, move it at the speed of light, and do it for pennies on the dollar, right? So anyways, that's why I'm into crypto. I don't care to mess around with meme coins. I'm buying what's going to change the planet. Think about it. Would you like to invest in a stock that just goes public that has a lot of potential for upside in 1999, or would you like to invest in Apple and Google? What's going to have the biggest returns? Now, you might go from year 2000 to 2003, for example, or 2000 to 2002. Might not get a lot of returns, might not be so sexy holding that Apple stock, but you're going to win long term. Same thing with Google. And so holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Polygon, Litecoin, Avalanche, Chainlink, Stellar might not seem so sexy holding that for a year to 2 years, but get that damn mentality out of here. If you want to make short-term money, go work a second job. If you want to make life-changing money, hold on to your investment 8 years out and then laugh when you held through this whole time and you cash out. How many people have you heard, man, I wish I'd have bought Bitcoin. Man, I wish I'd have bought Bitcoin. How many people are going to say, man, I wish I would have bought Bitcoin at under $30,000 when it's over $1 million? It's going to be over $1 million. So wake the fuck up. Buy it now, hold on to it, and just have some damn patience. When did you start working? When you were 18. Every year since you've been 18, you've made over 30K. I don't care. Even in your crappiest job, you made over $30,000 a year. So every time you've had a job in the history of your lifedom, you've made at least 30K. And so think about that. Every year you could have bought a Bitcoin. I know you have other expenses, but more than likely you've made more than 30K in a year. And you don't need to buy it at once. You could have bought a quarter of a Bitcoin, a quarter of a Bitcoin, a quarter of a Bitcoin. And I know Bitcoin has only been around for so long, but still think about it, guys. This asset will be worth over $1 million. Like, it's not a question of will it. It's a question of win it. W-E-N, win. It will get there. And so if you're looking to make some short-term money, go get a second job, get a better career. Stop spending so much money. Live below your means. If you ain't making enough money next month, don't look at crypto. Don't look at investments. Don't look at the stock market like, hey, I need to have some more spendable cash. That ain't the right way of going about it. Investment, income, different. Leave your investments alone. Make more income if you don't have enough income. Stop looking at your investment to make more income. It's a simple equation, but it's human tendency to make a little bit of gains in your investment and then take more of your income you can afford, pour it into your investment, thinking short term. Now, there's no shortage of people that are going to sit here and say, hey, you can trade. Cool. Have at it. I'll be honest. Right now, I know there's people that can make money trading, but people that trade gold, people that trade oil, they historically have not outperformed the rest of the market, right? Buying gold in 2000 and holding it to now, you've done better than the gold traders have in that same time period. That's all I'm saying. And now that we have a new median, remember, you're trading against the markets. You have a new medium. It's going to be extremely hard to be profitable. Now, there are some gifted people out there that can trade. It's no different than sports betting, for example. Now, here in Vegas, we have a lot of people that they will all go to the sports book and bet. And the fact is that only 1%, if that, will be able to turn a profit at the casino sports betting. It's just the reality of it. But 99% of the people think they're smart. They watch these videos. They follow some guy. It's the same mentality. It's the fact that your human psychology works against you. You get greedy, you get fearful, you make dumb decisions, you sell when you're not supposed to, you take more risks when you're not supposed to, you lose your money. It's no different. You can do that to any market. You can do it to the stock market, you can do it to the crypto market. So all I'm saying is that just have some investment and leave that alone. If you have some money you want to play around with for trading, then have at it. But don't expect to have that long term, right? If I was gonna burn $100 today on, say, going out having a drink, maybe, you know, I'd rather burn that putting it on a risky play, right? That I'm fine with. But what I'm not fine with is taking that $100 I was gonna DCA into a project and then putting it on something high risk like a meme coin or some other kind of project. And y'all feel me though? Y'all feel me though? Ralphie says he's not trying to explain this to other people. That's why you're here, because I'm going to explain it to you over and over again. All right, so shout out to all my new people. We got Drain the Swamp in here, King Peasant, Hashhead, a few people I haven't seen before, and then Meta Spawns up in here. What's up, brother? Crypto Crab Man, and who else? If you are new here, say hello so I can drop an hola back at you. So good little talks today. All right, so and we also had FUD Expert. He said one love, man, love the vids. Drain the Swamp says it's all luck. I'll say there is skill to it, but there is a lot of luck to it. Here's the thing, it doesn't matter what the charts say. It makes no difference what the charts say. If I put in a long or short position in Bitcoin and all of a sudden there's some breaking news, there's no chart on the planet that's going to stop that, right? If all of a sudden there's a press release from the SEC saying that they're doing this enforcement action or going after this freaking exchange or whatever it is, there's nothing stopping it. And on the other end, if a country comes out and says, hey man, we are buying $50 billion worth of Bitcoin, holding it as a treasury reserve asset, we know what that would do. So a lot of it is luck. None of that changes if you decide just to DCA $100 periodically. All right, so Zin Doggy says good evening from Cambodia, having a good Sunday afternoon. All right, so let's get into the next part of the show. And so if you guys are new here, you know what's coming. I mean, if you're not new here, you know what's coming. So the reason I started doing these Sunday shows, the reason I got into doing this every single Sunday is because I had a realization that, hey, I got into crypto to make more money because I was inefficient at life, right? I was inefficient with my finances. And I realized in the early days, and this also goes into kind of the stock market as well, but in my early days, I was massively irresponsible with my money. My bank account was always in the negative. I spent money where I shouldn't have. I wasn't concerned about increasing my income. And so I was kind of like that everyday guy just working for his paycheck and then going out to the bar. And when I started investing, I thought to myself, I'm like, oh man, here's some quick money. So that kind of that mentality where, hey, well, let me put 1,000 in here. I'll cash out 10 racks and then I'll be set, right? And I realized in hindsight that if you're a mess financially, if you can't even support yourself properly, or if you're just mismanaging money and you're hemorrhaging any kind of wealth that you would have because of a good job, because of spending money where you shouldn't. I realized pretty quickly that if that's you, it's not going to all of a sudden change. You're not going to be like the world's greatest crypto trader. You're not going to be the world's strongest hodler and doing everything right if you're doing everything wrong in finances. So I realized that I need to start from the bottom up, right? I need to create a good foundation financially. I need to have a solid job. I need to make good money, and I need to be responsible with what I have. And then if I can practice that with my bank account, with my money, if I can trust myself with my own money, and I can make my money work for me, and I can live comfortably, or take the money that I have and use it effectively. And then at that point, when I have that buckled down, then I know that if I take that mentality, move it over to crypto, I will have a ton of success. And so that's what kind of spurred me to doing these Sunday shows, is that, hey, let's evaluate where we're at, what kind of money we're making, and let's see where we can improve. And so what I've said over and over again here is that when it comes to your money, your net worth, your income, how much all of this, your rotating capital that you have, it's essentially just two variables. It's money in, money out. Money made, expenses. That's it. And so if you want to make more money, you can either increase the amount of income you make, or you can decrease the amount that you spend. Now, everyone always says they want to make more money, but nobody ever says they want to spend less money. So I would encourage you to say, hey, make the tough choices, because it's hard when you finance something, you buy something, you move into a house, or you're trying to impress people, or you got a girlfriend, you don't want her to think you're a bum, or whatever it is. But sometimes you have to take a step back if you want to take a step forward. That's just life. Particularly in finances, holds true as well. And so if you're underwater, you're barely getting by, you're paying interest on credit cards you can't afford, and you're spending money you don't really have, and you're never going to get out of this circle. And so your only option at that point, if that's your mentality, would be to make more money. But it's hard for us to make more money. So what you can change in the short term faster is usually your expenses, right? And so if I'm burning $200 at the bar every week, that's a really easy fix right there. If I'm getting Starbucks, Monday through Sunday, well, that's, $7 a day times, 7 days. That's, 40 some dollars. That's a week. That's damn near $200 a month. And so, you can reduce your spending faster than you can increase your income. And so if you're looking to get some more capital on the side to DCA, I would encourage you to look at your finances. Where are you spending your money? And ain't nothing wrong with selling your car and getting something a little cheaper, right? I know it's a hard move, but we got Cryptos RS George in the chat. So he says, yo, Robin, I'm excited about the Vegas event coming up. We are excited for this Vegas event as well. For those of you that might not be familiar, 6 days from now, we'll be at the top of the Mandalay Bay, the Foundation Room. We have a meetup. And so if you guys are in Vegas, we'd love for you guys to attend. It is an invite only. We did give away some tickets, but there are other ways to go about it. You can get an NFT through a George NFT through his channel. That'll get you in. I don't know if it's too late, but just reach out to us if you're going to be in the Vegas area. Maybe we'll make something happen. Now, we also want to give a big shout out to the new people here. I saw that we have Mike Play in here, Metaspawn, I haven't seen you in a little while, and William English as well, saying, I am George. So when it comes to making money, or when it comes to DCAing, you need the capital on the side. And simply that, right? You can only DCA if you got some capital on the side. So trying to spend money you don't have that is allocated for bills ain't an option, right? You need to have income that you're going to be spending towards you need income, disposable income. You need to increase your disposable income. So the easy one is to cut some spending, but realistically, we all want to make more money. And you know, if you're working somewhere for longer than 1 year and you're not turning the corner and making more income, it's time to make a move. My personal opinion, I don't think you should work anywhere for a year or longer without making some kind of progress towards making more money, or at least increasing your net worth, or increasing your personal value, so that way you can make more money. And so what I would say is, like, let's not work at a job that's not going to return anything long term, putting in years and years and years. I give you an example here in Las Vegas, something in the industry I'm familiar with. So you can be a server here, and the thing is the server's not gonna. You might gain a little bit of experience. You can go to another restaurant, take that experience, maybe make a little bit more money, but realistically, you're not gonna catapult yourself to the next income bracket. But now if you look at an industry, so like say you're a paralegal and you start at the bottom, or say you're an assistant at a law firm, there are different tiers that you can go up that's going to make you more money, and putting in the time at a lower level can essentially get you more money at the next level. And so putting in the time there will essentially increase your net worth or your value to bring in more money later. And so I would encourage you to take an assessment. How long have you been somewhere? Because this whole mentality of, hey, I'm going to work at the same job for 40 years, or 20 to 30 years, get my pension, retire, those days are gone. You're not gonna that's not going to pay the bills. And so you gotta think like, hey, is the job I currently have, am I making more money in 6 months working here, or is it going to make me that much more valuable that in a year I can go somewhere else? If the answer to that is no, you need more income. Obviously, you need to make some moves. That's it. Now, I'm going to get back over here to the chat, check in with you guys. So DK says making more money is great, but if you start cutting expenses and living below your means, you realize that you can, the chase for more money is important. If you work, that's where I started at. And if immediately you can get more money by spending less, like that's an immediate cause. Like if you're, like I said, you're going to the bar, you're dropping $200, you can immediately cut that. You don't need to go out and apply and interview. But now if you attack from both angles, right? If you increase your income and you also decrease your spending, you're massively increasing your dispensable income by attacking two different vectors. And so that's where I would encourage you guys to assess, like, how much am I making? And at the end of the day, I always go back to like what comes easy to you, what you do in life, what you're the most passionate about. That's usually what's going to return you the most money, generally speaking, because where you excel is going to be where you're most valuable at. And so if you go to a job you're not happy doing and you're miserable, what is the likelihood that you're going to advance in that field? What's the likelihood that you're going to make more money there? Right? The boss probably looks at you like, he's okay. You're looking at yourself like, this is an okay job. Like, get out of that. That's a trap right there, right? And so I would recommend doing something you're passionate about. Those jobs come easy. You don't mind putting in the extra work, and just figure out how to make money on it. And so I'm tech savvy, so I set up streaming things of that nature. that comes easy to me. It's natural. I don't mind sitting in front of a computer looking at routing. That's something I do naturally. And so for me, that's something I attack as a career. And here's the thing, I just got to have patience. Started this YouTube thing about 2 years ago, and I know I have a long-term vision. Anybody that's starting a business, if you look at your business and you're like, hey, I want to be a millionaire, and you're like, I want to start a business, you got to have a realistic time horizon. It's no different than investing in a crypto. It's like investing in yourself. So if you're going to start a business, start a new career, you need to realize that you're probably going to have to take a step back. Now, taking a step back, it's painful, but you got to go through it. But if you believe in the process, it will reward itself. If you just work hard day in and day out, there is no substitute for that. And things will come your way. And it's a lot easier to work hard at things that you're passionate about. It's a lot tougher if you're working in a factory and you're miserable. It's a lot harder to go work hard every day. Now, you should still hold the same, but if you find something that you're passionate about, that's it. That's probably, in my opinion, the easiest route for that. And so, once again, I'll just kind of leave it at my personal life experiences, that a lot of people, especially in the industry that I'm in, closest family members, they look at me and they say like, yo, you're crazy. You're stupid. What are you doing? You have a good job here. You can make X amount of money. Like, why are you spending so much money on your studio? But I have a game plan. I have a vision. I have a direction. And I know 100% that if I just put all of my life force, all of my energy, all of my free time, and I work as efficiently as possible, and I put my soul and my artistic creativity into this project, into what I love doing anyways, that it will reward itself long term. And I have no doubt whatsoever that is going to happen. And you could do the same in whatever the hell you're passionate about. And so you will probably make less money changing your career. You will probably take a step back, leaving your job and doing something else. The career that you're in now, you might make 80,000, you might make 40,000 going working somewhere else. Because the thing is when you go into a new industry, a new field, you have no experience. Who the hell is going to pay the same amount of money you make at the job you have experience at? It's not going to happen. And whether or not you pay yourself or somebody's paying you or the customer is paying this new business, that's just how it works. You have to take on some risk. And then the risk means, hey, you're going to have to live below your means for a certain period of time. And so for me, I get laughed at, but watch me. Watch what this grows into. You might not believe in the vision, but you know who does? I do. And if I believe in the vision and I push hard at it every single day, it will pay off. I know it will. Now, maybe it might not be as wildly successful as some people would expect, but even if it doesn't end up being a multi-million-dollar operation that changes the world, and at least bare minimum, I'm doing what makes me happy and I'm making money doing it. And there ain't a job and there ain't a profession in this world. There isn't like a passion in this world that you can't make money off of. Whether it's sports or it's art or it's gym, or it's fitness, it's selling, it's children, it's teaching. Like, there's every passion that you can possibly have. Anything that excites you, you can monetize it. Now, taking that leap of faith and going and doing it, like, that is risky, it's scary, and you're gonna have to change how you live to get it done. But you can do it. Do what makes you passionate and make more money. If you Spend less money, make more money. And then on Sundays, you sit down, day like today, it's the end of the week, and you look what you've done for that week. You evaluate. It doesn't have to be a Sunday. It could be a Monday, it could be a Wednesday, whatever. Pick one day of the week. Look at what you have accomplished. Don't beat yourself up, but just say, hey, what did I try to get done this week? Did I get it done or did I not? That's it. And how do you even identify what you wanted to get done, didn't you? Well, you set the next week's expectations on the same day. And so this Sunday, when I'm done with this stream, I'm gonna set the expectations. A lot going on. I got this party on Saturday. I got people flying in on Thursday, on Friday. I have an audio engineer coming on Monday. I got David coming in Wednesday. I got to change things around. There is a ton of crap that I got to get done. I got it all written down. I got it all planned out. Will it all get accomplished? Probably not. And so I need to keep myself on track. I need to figure out where I am in the process. I need to evaluate and grade myself. And days like Sunday for me is my go-to. It's the best day. I can say X, Y, Z, TUV. These things are all items I was trying to get done. I got that one done. I got that one done. I got that one done. And it might not be as rewarding when you get them done that day, right? And they don't even need to be like massive things. It can just be like, hey man, let me just make my bed every single day this week. But as you start being more efficient and knocking things out, as you can just knock these things out of the park every day, even as small as it is, whether it's not, hey, why don't I take my cup of coffee? Why don't I just wash it instead of putting it in the sink? Do that Monday through Friday. Why don't I call my mom 3 days a week? Just set something out. Set some kind of parameters on something you want to get done. And then when you look back at the end of the week, you say like, all right, I got that done. I did that. Yes. Need to work on this though. And you don't have to be pissed off about it. I mean, you can, whatever the hell fuels you, sure, but you can just be like, you know what? I got a lot done, a couple things I didn't, but whatever. I'm gonna get those next week. All right, now noted. And I'll tell you what, after about 2-3 weeks of not getting something done, that's gonna start pissing you off, right? You say you're gonna go clean the shed, and you say you're gonna do it this week. You didn't. You're like, I didn't get it done this week. And then you're going through the checklist next week. And you're like, oh, I didn't get it done this week. At week 3, you're like, all right, man, I gotta get this thing done, bro. I'm tired of looking at this damn thing on the freaking list. I gotta get this thing done. Set goals in the short term if you want to have long-term success. Everyone always looks at something long-term, but it's pointless if you don't set short-term goals together, because nobody knows the path to a long-term goal. You don't know all of the little stops, right? You don't say, I want to get to California and then just have no idea how to get there. You just say like, I'm going to go west. Like, well, sure. Yeah. I want to start a business. I want to be a millionaire. Well, okay, we understand the direction, but you gotta think about it, man. You gotta think like, what things do I need to do in the short term to get me to the long term? Start on your weekly routine. I'm the most unorganized person on the planet as far as like structure and writing things down. I have a hard time reading a whole book. Have a hard time writing long form content on paper. No problem talking. It's difficult for me, but I gotta do it. Gotta put it down. Because how else are you gonna keep yourself accountable if you don't take note of what you're supposed to do? Well, me know before we wrap this up. Give me one goal you plan on having this week. It could be something as simple as taking the dog for a long walk, calling somebody. I want to know. Give me one thing you're going to knock out this week that's outside the ordinary, something that you just thought of this week, something you just said today. Like, you know what? I'm going to put this in the chat. I'm going to get it done. Don't tell me anything you were already going to do. This has got to be new. Think of something right now you're going to get done next week. You only have thought of this because I put you on the spot. All right, guys. Y'all are quiet, man. Y'all ain't gonna do much. DK says he'll be sharing this with the class he teaches. It's good. Drain the Swamp says another 30% gain. You can't control that. But if you can, I'll take 30%. Digital asset, helping a friend. I respect you for that. It's so hard. I've had some friends and family that have addiction issues, and if they're not ready, man, it's almost impossible. But you gotta be there for people. So big shout out to you. Daily stretching. Okay, I got it. I was trying to think of what I'm going to do this week that I haven't already set out. So I've been pushing off my my cardio, right? I've been going to the gym. I've ramped up to 7 days a week. So I've been kind of like, hey man, you need to go more gym more. So anyways, I work out 7 days a week now. I don't really care. Like, I don't care if you need days of rest. Like, my mentality is that, like, hey, I'm going to work out 7 days a week. Been pretty damn efficient. Been like 2 months anyways. But I haven't done really cardio. So I vowed to do at least 3 strong days of cardio or incorporate a cardio routine into my workout this week. That's what I'm going to do. And is anybody going to go watch Barbie this week? That's what I want to know. So, yeah. All right, guys. So that's going to be it. We're going to wrap this thing up. So to all of you, thank you so much for hanging out on Sundays, Rant and Ramble. A lot of fun. This is, I've said it before, this is more like a therapy session for myself. And it's great sharing that with you guys. I appreciate it. I look forward to hanging out with you every Sunday. It is very rewarding doing this show because I hope I reach or I help or I spark something in a few people. Even if it's one person, if I can change your day, if I can change your week, if I can help you out, if I can give you a little bit of spark of motivation, if I can help you help somebody else, whatever it is, I'm just excited to reach a few people with some positivity and some forward progress. And I want everybody here to make money. And I don't want you to lose your money in crypto. So anyways, it's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much. Be great next week. More Larry. I got Larry a new playground. Y'all want to see this shit? Look at this. I built him this thing. Well, I put it together. Look at that thing. He's terrified of it, though. I've been having to teach him how to use it. You know, he's small, so he's like looking at this thing like, let me go get Larry. Great. A little chicken wrap here. Look at that. All right. All right. Anyways, guys, that'd be it. Out of here. Much love. Thank you. Larry, thanks you. Peace.